Today we're taking on a full clutch replacement on this Mini Cooper. Let's walk through it step by step. We kick things off by disconnecting the battery. Next, we move to the inside and remove the steering column shaft. This gives us more room and access for what's coming later. Under the hood, we started pulling components to clear space. Out comes the computer, the air intake, and the coolant reservoir tank. Keep your bolts and connectors organized, it'll save you time later. Now we get into the heart of the teardown. We start removing the bell housing bolts. You'll need a couple of extensions to get to some of the tighter spots. We'll also disconnect the clutch cables and unplug a few connectors tied into the transmission harness. Moving underneath, we tackle the exhaust system. First, we remove the clamp. Then, we slide the rubber bushing off their hangers to fully drop the exhaust. That clears the space we'll need for the transmission drop later. Next up, suspension teardown. We pull both front wheels off and get to work on disconnecting the tie rod ends, sway bar links, and lower ball joint nuts. Give everything a quick inspection while you're in there. Look for play, torn boots, or wear. With that done, we drain the transmission fluid. Always check the condition. If it looks clean and smells good, we'll reuse it. Otherwise, swap it out with fresh fluid when we're done. Now use a pry bar to pop the axles out. Time to remove the subframe. We take out the bolts and the lower engine support mount. As we lower the subframe, go slow and steady. There are two power steering connections that are still attached. We do not want to stretch or damage those lines. With the engine now supported on a block of wood in a stand, we disconnect the hydraulic clutch line and remove the passenger axle completely. This clears the way for the transmission to come out. We pull the starter next, followed by the final bell housing bolts. Then we remove the upper transmission mount. Now comes the critical part, carefully separating the transmission from the engine. Take your time, wiggle it out evenly, and make sure it's fully supported as it comes free. Once it's out, we got a clear view of the clutch assembly. We remove the pressure plate, clutch disc, and flywheel. Inspect everything as you go. If the clutch wore unevenly, check your alignment or pilot bearing. Now we replace the rear main seal. This is a must while we're in here. Lightly tap the new seal in, flush with the engine block, and do not drive it in too deep or it won't seal correctly. Then we reinstall the reluctor wheel and bolt on the new flywheel. Make sure the mating surface is clean, then torque the bolts in 2 steps. Follow the factory specs here. No guesswork. We clean the new flywheel surface before installing the clutch. Then we use the alignment tool to center the clutch disc and bolt down the pressure plate. Again, torque everything down to spec. Before the transmission goes back in, we replace the throttle bearing. Don't forget to lubricate the input shaft splines and the pivot ball. Then test for smooth, easy travel. No noise, no binding. Now we bring the transmission back up. Carefully align it, ease it into place, and reinstall all the bell housing bolts. Take your time here, don't force it. Next, we reinstall the starter, followed by the passenger axle. Push it in until you hear a solid click. The axle locks in on its own. Driver's axle is next. Line it up carefully, take your time seating it. Again, be careful not to damage the seals. We reconnect the clutch line and prepare to raise the subframe. Line everything up, reinstall the lower engine mount, and torque all the bolts to spec. Now it's time to put the front suspension back together. Reinstall the tie rod ends, sway bar links, and ball joint nuts. Check everything for proper alignment and tightness. Reinstall and secure the exhaust. Then we jump back to the top, reinstall the coolant reservoir, air intake, ECU, and steering column shaft. Finally, we reconnect the battery. And that's it. Clutch is replaced, transmission back in, and this Mini Cooper is ready to be back on the road. If you like builds like this, don't forget to like, comment, and follow for more pro level repairs and real world shop work. See you in the next one.